Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Osman out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father here with us this morning. Starting out, first one in was Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard was the first one this morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Good deal, good deal. Next on the total poll was I got to say it. He don't like me to say it. I ain't gonna say it this morning. I'm just gonna say Tucson. I'm gonna say Tucson. Good morning, Donna. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. Good morning.
Did I do good? I ain't say it. Did I do good? Did I do good? Tell me I
Yeah,
did good.
because I was finishing. Now look, this Negro gonna have me cussing on it.
God Almighty.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I started off.
Start
Look,
coming
I'm
out the
sorry.
gate.
Let me say that. I know you introduced it. We gonna start some mess this morning.
Look here,
Get ready.
look here. You coming out the gate like that, boy. Ain't no telling what's gonna go on today.
Uh-uh.
Mo, good
Yes,
morning,
sir.
sir. How you doing this morning?
It's going good. I got something to say to Toussaint real quick.
Uh-oh. Now we just want our good morning greetings and
No, it's a
what
quote
you about
for
to say,
him.
Mo? Go ahead.
Yes,
Hit us with it.
I like a dull knife that just ain't cutting. You talking loud and saying nothing. Come on with it.
Oh Lord, Tucson. That man done challenged you early this morning,
I
Tucson.
thought
That man done challenged you early this
I
morning.
thought you was gonna. When you say cut, I thought you was gonna rhyme it with nut.
Nut. Okay.
Leonard, man, look here.
But you missed.
Maybe we need to take the day off, man.
You missed.
I, I see how this thing starting out, man. We might need to take the day off, brother. You know, we might not need to be here this morning, man.
Don't leave your homework undone.
Oh
I'm a
Lord.
reading man.
Okay, all right. I got you.
You can look. Before you know it, we gonna be hearing. You gonna pull out the harmonica.
No, don't do it. Oh, y'all talking about my heart plan? Now I'm insulted. I'm insulted now. I'm not pulling them out, but I'm insulted. Don't you talk about Jackleg Preacher now,
And
unless you're going to bring something to the stage.
and right, he gonna be singing in the background.
No, I ain't gonna be
Call me
singing.
Jackleg Preacher
No.
because the stage is my church.
Oh, he said
I'm
coat.
going to be
He
a
said coat.
Baptist preacher,
He
so
said the
I
stage
don't
is
have to
coat.
work.
Hold on now, hold on. You know, you can't just back up off that when you say the stage is your coat. Okay.
No, I said the stage is my pulpit and the people's is my church. Going to
I
be a Baptist preacher, so I won't have to work.
Yeah. But I think I heard you say something about a coat too. Now I might have misheard something, but I think I heard
Yeah,
coat.
recharge your miracle ear, Raheem. Get that
Well,
miracle ear recharged, man.
well,
Don't use some fake adapter.
it seemed like we all got to do that because we all heard you say the stage is your coat. We all heard that. That's why it must be a
No. That's
glitch.
not
Might
what
be
I
a
said.
glitch in the ear. Must be
No,
a glitch in the earpiece. Must be a glitch in the ear.
glitch in your
Earpiece just
earpiece.
ain't working. Earpiece just ain't working.
Yeah, you get
Anyway,
those
let's keep.
eargasms.
Hold on, Mo. We ain't talking about day our topic, man. You think it was all off course, man? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Leonard.
What?
This is the time of the broadcast, brother, where I ask you the question: what's going on in the political arena right now? What's going on?
Crap going on in the political arena. Is the greatest and most ridiculous show on earth right now.
Mm. Leonard, how do you think we're looking to the rest of the world?
Well, I think we're looking like we're about to make some serious changes, and I don't believe that. I think we need to reestablish leadership on the world stage as it relates to our compromised courts and definitely our presidency. I think we need to really tighten up quite a bit because we still have to be the leader for democracy. I'm very much pro-democracy, as you know. And I think that's what we're trying to make sure we reestablish that. And it's left up to the rest of the world, I believe, to determine how much they want us to intervene.
Or do they?
Right. Now, there's a lot of, there's a lot of folks who are very, what is the opposite of optimistic?
Pessimistic.
Very pessimistic when it comes to leadership, to the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame that most of them are my brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
I think we got to make sure the lights stay on
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of the world, because
Mm-hmm.
we're still the nation that's trying to push this notion of the melting pot and diversity and welcome and let's do things together.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world is not so welcoming. I don't believe so anyway. As we look at the various wars and things going around and our position, Israel is not in a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to make some huge decisions. There are too many conflicting messages on this particular issue as it relates to Israel and Palestine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we need to clear that up with the rest of the world.
Exactly. Leonard, are we that big brother that people used to look at us as men still? Or have we lost just a little bit of our footing?
No, we're always going to be that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Always.
It just depends on what type of big brother are we going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And how hard are we going to push for equality and equity and democracy, really democracy not pushed by private corporate interests. So I think if we can deal with our own selves as America and what's going on here with so much hatred and this anomaly of President Trump.
Wow.
It's left a very bad taste in many people's mouth.
Yes. And I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then we're gonna pull everybody else in on this, because we're gonna talk about this for just a minute, not too long. Then we're gonna go to our topic of the day. Leonard, what do you think it is? And why do you think it is that even after having 34 felony convictions, people are still following this man and willing to vote for him as the president of the United States of America? Why do you think that is?
For the same reason why there are people who love Hitler still to this day.
Wow.
Because they support hate. They support chaos. And they support wickedness. That is that. I mean, this is not it's not that new, Raheem. It's just the tides are turning now more so.
Yeah.
And we're finally coming to grips with the fact that many of Americans are still just hateful.
Wow.
And it's sad, and you don't want to admit it. But just like you hate somebody in your family, that's pretty much what the political scene is.
Wow.
Wow. We're democratic together, but there are those who wish to take away freedoms from people. And that's the thing that people hate most. Is the freedoms that we enjoy.
That part right there. Yeah, exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. The phone lines are open. What do you think about this situation, man? Are people drunk on Trump? Are they drunk on Trump? 34 felony convictions, but still they're willing to vote for him as the president of the United States of America. Well, what do you say to that?
Well, we have to look at how this all played out in popular media. Brother Leonard mentioned Hitler. After the Beer Hall Putsch failed in I think it was 28, Hitler went to jail for a few months, and he had a typewriter, nice cozy little jail. During that time in jail, he wrote his book Mein Kampf, My Struggle, and 4 years, and he served, I think, 9 months, and within 5 years, he was made Chancellor of Germany. Okay, and so with Donald Trump, with those 34 felony convictions, they're called Class E felonies, which are the lowest level of felonies. He can actually not serve any jail time, 0 to 1 year probation, everything like that. So part of it is people are looking at that and saying, oh, it was all a plot and everything, his diehard supporters. But the fact of the matter is he broke the law. It's there. Not only did he break the law, he broke the morality law, the moral law. He broke his marriage vows, beyond the sexual, salacious comments that he made to Stormy Daniels, like getting hit with the magazine and everything else. The fact of the matter is that, as Barack Obama said, Donald Trump is perhaps the one person who is most uniquely unqualified to be the president of the United States. I mean, look at his counsel.
If that be the case, why are so many people so willing to vote for him?
Because it's about a matter of privilege. That they, especially white privilege, white male privilege, white female privilege, that they feel their status is going to be degraded over time because of people of color, people of better socioeconomic backgrounds, the American dream, all of that is there. There was a country music song that hit the charts and went #1. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's just simply there on an acoustic guitar talking about his dollar don't mean, SH. And because the people north of Richmond, I think it was called north of Richmond, are making the decisions. And it was a white man talking about his particular perspective on things. So it's now with Trump, because of the circus that is around Trump, that now they're even saying that the trial here in Fulton County, Georgia, may be delayed until after the election because of what's going on with Fani Willis. So it's the way everything has been portrayed and everything. I mean, come on, 8 hours after that felony conviction, the next morning, it was announced that he made he got over $36 million in donations within 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Tucson, what are you hearing, man? Is people just sick, or people just are drunk on Trump, or what are you hearing, man? Because this done 34 felony convictions and still be able to run for the president of the United States of America. I heard somebody say something yesterday about if that be the case, and if he can do that, and legally he can, why not take the on applications, take the felony box off? Because if he can run for the president of the United States of America, certainly any job that people are applying for, because that's supposed to be the best job, and that's supposed to be the #1 job in the country. If he could have that job with 34 felonies, then take the felony box off the applications when the average people are trying for a job. It shouldn't affect nothing. Tucson?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. It's a sad day to realize that either way, that's the best you got to offer. You can't find anything else to cheer about, but, and that's just my opinion, evil. Now, some may say, and some of our Christian brothers and sisters, laying hands on him, and God sent a lot of things. I think Katrina the hurricane that destroyed the South Mississippi and the part of Louisiana was God sent, but it was a disaster.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow.
he's a modern day Nebuchadnezzar,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, here we are in America, supposed to be one of the greatest nations on the face of the earth. And any candidate you look at, that's the best we got to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of the American citizens in this country, here's what's on the table. And here's the choices we got to make. Brothers and sisters, this is a sad day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the short version of what I've got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't do politics.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
if we have gotten here where we are, and it's clear that you can't look nowhere else, you can't even look under a rock
Mm.
and find anything better. That's sad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because I tell you what, I'd vote for my dog first,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and he ain't old enough.
He walk on fours. Leonard, talk to me, Leonard. You know, it's a lot.
Sad.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I mean, it's very true. However, I think it's the perfect time for the revolution.
Mm-hmm.
It is easier now for people to get involved in politics and the way things go. At so many different levels, it's the people who sit back and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This is why these things are allowed. It's because we refuse to hold people accountable, and we refuse to ensure that, see, the rules are so loose because nobody ever considered black people or other people other than white folks having these positions of power.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the rules so loose. But now, when you have a far more intellectual class coming about,
Come on.
we need to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
We need to require that our leaders be at least intelligent.
Mm-hmm. At least.
At least.
Yeah.
They should be at least
Mm-hmm.
college educated.
Mm-hmm.
And they should be held to the highest scrutiny.
Of the last 10 presidents, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around when I say 10. Of the last 10 presidents, would you say that Obama was one of the most intelligent of the last 10?
Obama's very intelligent, but that's not his what makes him stand out.
Mm-hmm.
What makes him stand out is his humanity.
Yeah.
And his kindness of heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes him stand out from other presidents.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Bill Clinton, he doesn't carry that burden, that white burden.
Yeah.
That Clinton had to carry while he was president.
Mm-hmm.
Because are we ever going to be able to trust a Southern president?
Mm.
A Southern president from a state that rebelled against the Union.
Come on.
I'm not for that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more so back during Reconstruction, and what should have happened during Reconstruction must now happen in 2024.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Where we need to keep an eye on those who don't have the interests of us all as a priority.
Mm-hmm.
We got to move more towards the middle.
Now you know, they say, Barack Obama, President Obama, was the first black president. That's not true, but they say he was the first black president. So he got to look out for us, man. They had presidents all the time to look out for everybody else. He our president. He got to look out for us. He need to be looking out for us.
Well, he wouldn't have won just with your votes. I can tell you that.
Exactly.
So you need to get a grip on You
And
know,
that's
it's
what I don't
like
understand.
it's the year to me of realism. What's real matters. This BS some people have in their heads, it doesn't matter. It's what are we going to actually do? The older generation was fine with just sitting around talking about it. They were used to the power structure.
Yeah.
They had gotten fine with the power structure. It was just a handful of Negroes in the early 60s that got sick and tired of the foolishness
And did something.
and started doing something. And look, that benefit everybody that comes here.
Absolutely.
That makes it possible for everybody in the world to come to the United States and take advantage of these opportunities because of what the oppressed did.
Yeah.
Not the privileged. The oppressed. So you have to remember that.
Exactly. Mo, talk to me. Talk to me, Mo.
I don't know where to start. I mean,
pick a spot.
Say again.
Pick a spot, brother.
All right. Well, you talked about the 34 felonies, Trump being a convicted felon and running for the presidency, and put up there's only 3 requirements for the presidency. You got to be at least 35, be a natural born citizen, and have lived in the U.S. for at least 14 years. Okay, so what we're looking at really is the book, The Irony of Democracy, really talked about it, that it's the elites within the United States and truly with any country that tries to emulate aspects of the United States governmental system. Leonard had mentioned about being the big brother. What what you're then referring to is called hegemony, which is spreading the influence of American ideology, which is something that is kind of elitist, that your governmental type is better than anyone else's governmental type. When you talk about Big Brother, there's in international politics, there's a concept called R, the number 2P, which stands for responsibility to protect. And there are many aspects of where and how the U.S. exerts military force to, quote unquote, protect an area like Gaza. And so it's, well, I call it the iron law of intervention. Each side of the triangle has 3 things: good, cheap, and fast. And you can only choose 2 if you're going to intervene. So you can have good and cheap, but it won't be fast. You can have fast and cheap, but it won't be good. So when you're talking about being a big brother to the world, you have to actually look at the military aspects of exactly what that means. Even in Israel, what happened in 1948 when Israel became the modern state of Israel. Before that, I mean, the Israelis blew up the King David Hotel, killing British soldiers. They did everything that Hamas is doing. Everything. So it goes back to the concept of Zionism and everything else. So we got to be careful how we put ourselves into our perspective of the Israeli Hamas situation, because the modern state of Israel is not the ancient state of Israel. There's a difference between the Israelis and the Israelites, and we can't get that confused.
Wow. Do you think a lot of people are confusing it?
Yes, I did. Wow. I really did. Based on misconceptions.
Toussaint, talk to me, then we're gonna switch up.
Thank you for switching up on this subject, because they make me sick. All of them. I mean, it's really, I can't help but when you're looking for a leader of a nation, well, it kind of makes you question even the rest of the leaders that we have. From our city leaders, local leaders, you know, it's sad. very sad to me. I mean, hey, here's the tactic. Some people say, well, since we don't have a qualified candidate, I'm not voting for nobody. So
Mm-hmm.
you automatically cast a vote without knowing it for the other candidate.
Mm-hmm.
It's strategic. You notice that the Pride Boys have come on the scene, right?
Yeah.
What's that all about? Who are they? Who are they? Who are they?
Mm.
If they jump on a bandwagon, which is, you see, they ain't crying, they ain't hollering Biden. No, I mean, it is what it is. We got a man that clearly understands his, so that it won't seem like I'm favoring anybody, because I don't. When's retirement age come in? Because we ain't got no young. You say 35. You didn't mean to tell me between the ages of 35 and the age of President Biden or President Trump. You mean to tell me you don't have nobody?
Mm.
What?
Got to be somebody.
40 years difference. 40 years difference.
Mm-hmm.
People hadn't been born in this country for at least 35, 40 years that you can find anybody to lead this country.
Mm. Do you think, Tucson, do you think we lean too much on the elderly white man to run this country? Do you think we lean too heavily on that? And we should get some of these new people with new ideals.
Say it again.
Say it again.
Ask your question again, because I didn't clearly understand.
Do you
as a background?
Do you think we lean? Do you think this country lean too heavily on the elderly white man to run this country instead of getting the new 35, 36 younger, maybe 40 years old people to be in leadership?
We pay too much attention to race altogether.
Mm-hmm.
That's our problem.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be black. We want to be white. Why we can't be people?
Mm-hmm.
We put too much focus. That's what failed us. I say us.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, and it's just me, we thought, and that was the problem, that President Obama should be our black people, Dr. Barbino.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest mistake we ever made.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be president for all the people, or he's not president at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if we don't never understand that, we'll never get what we need.
Wow.
And that's just me.
Good deal. Good deal. I say we was gonna switch up, man. We got a few people that just joined us, so I want to give them an opportunity to comment on this part of it as well about the age element. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all been?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Toya, we're talking about president, and we spoke about the 34 felonies, and I made a comment that I said if a person that has 34 there's a convicted felon 34 times could still run for the presidency of the United States of America, then maybe they need to consider taking that felony box off of applications when an average person go try to get a job. That's just me talking. But we also veered into this area, and I want to hear your heart on this right here. Do you think America lean too heavily on the elderly white man to run this country instead of getting the 35 and above? You could be a president of the United States of America. Maybe we should get somebody close to the age 35, 40 with new and improved, hopefully improved ideas about what needs to happen with this country. Do you think we lean too heavily on the elderly white man?
Lean?
Yeah.
No, it ain't no lean.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no lean. It's a system
led
by him. But ain't no leaning. Leaning means you take your time to lean forward over to kind of, take the load off. This ain't no lean. It's their system. It's their system. And no, the last young guy got murdered. He's too much outward thinking.
You talking about Kennedy?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Too much outward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When you know the story of Kennedy and what he had been through, he might have been the cleanest president we had with what he'd been through.
Mm-hmm.
They murdered him. So now, You were stating what was the question earlier? You said before that though.
Man, we asked so much. I know we was
No,
talking about.
you literally just said it before you
Man,
talked about.
I drink. You know what's in this tea I'm drinking over here, girl? You wouldn't ask me that question if you knew what was in this tea I'm drinking.
Okay, well, the question asker is gonna have to need to write down their questions because in order for us to be able to keep up properly, we need to know what questions we asking. Oh, you talking about them 34 felonies? That
Yeah,
was
the
talking
34
about.
felonies. Yeah,
First
yeah.
of
There you
all,
go. There you go. You don't know what's in this cup.
leave Trump alone. Stop.
Mm.
He just
How
as
could how,
raggedy as
how,
all the
how
rest
could
of
we
them
stop?
white folks. He just as raggedy as all the rest of them white folks up in that White House. Stop playing. They all got
Mm-hmm.
felonies. They all commit crimes. They all committed genocide. The entire United States government and anybody who's attached to it, they should be felons because they all are a part of a system that raped, molested, killed, murdered, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between them and us is that they ain't got locked up for it. We've heard about stories about senators. We know they got a fund where they can pay off their victims. We know that they help hide them raping and molesting young women, females, whoever. So no, we not just gonna put it on one individual. That cracker ain't no different than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna be straight 100. And they outing him for a reason. They outing him because you spilling the secrets. They outing him because, oh, now you exposing who we really are. They are all the same. We're not going to just pick this one that they decided to gaslight and set on fire. No, we not. All of them are like that. None of them have the balls or the heart to say so to our faces. So at the end of the day, until we the people, again, understand our positions, all right, and understand they're not being met, we're going to keep being fooled by these clowns who act like they don't do anything. They're all criminals, not just Trump. They all need to go to jail, not just Trump.
But see, and I could agree with a piece or part of what you're saying, but at the same time, I still have to deal with the reality of he is the one that has a 34. He's been convicted of a felon for 34 times. He's the one that maybe all the other ones should have been as well, but they wasn't. He's the one that is. And so are people, and I asked the question earlier, are people drunk on Trump? Because, man, come on, man. 34 you have 34 felony convictions. 34.
Yeah, 34,
and
the
average guy with one can apply for a job.
We are still talking about a state, but you're still talking about a United States, Raheem, that imprison people who they know are innocent. Come on, man, stop.
Absolutely.
Maybe if you listen, if we was dealing in a society where we halfway did stuff like we were supposed to, and I even throw it out there like this, maybe in the 80s, and even Reagan was a criminal. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't pick the bottom of the gang. You know that the head is right here, but because you roll with the head, because the head dates your daughter, because you buy drugs from the head. Now you're gonna get the little guy at the bottom and give him 34 felonies. That's not cool.
No, but my thing is this right here. All that's beautiful, all that's good. But I deal with the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation, Toy, is he does have 34. He has been convicted for 34 felonies. And I understand what you're saying, and I'm certainly not saying that.
So that means you drunk on Trump.
No. I'm not drunk on Trump. I think Trump need to be locked up. Because if the average person had 34 felonies, they're gonna be locked up anyway. Why does he get quote unquote presidential treatment? He's wrong. And
they've been wrong. But we been knew the law wasn't for them, Raheem.
I understand.
Now they showing us in our face. They've been told you that they was for us. 34 felonies was for black people, not for white people. Felonies and laws and going to jail was for us. They knew that black people wasn't raping them white women, and they all sat together and lied to put us in jail. So this is just another rendition. They're showing us again. He's showing us again who we are really dealing with. And we cannot just focus on Trump. You got to focus on the whole foundation. Take the whole Congress house down. You cannot just focus on that white man because the rest of them white men up in there doing the same thing. And if he gone, ain't going to be no more exposure. Take the whole house down.
Okay, see, and my thing is, and I'm not, and I don't want people to think or you to think that I'm disagreeing with you. That's not what I'm doing. But what I am doing is saying, yes, let's take the house down. But what I'm looking to do is take the house down one brick at a time, and that's one brick that has to go. Let's keep this thing going. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, great morning, God morning to each of you.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me, sis. And we had another caller with the, I think 501 area code. If you're still listening, give us a call back. We're definitely gonna get to you, and we'd love to have your input. So 501 area code. If you're still listening, give us a call back. We go around to everybody in the way in the order in which they called in, and so that's why we did not come directly to you. So if you are available, call back in. We'd love to have your input. Don't know who you are, but whoever you are. Annie, talk to me. 34 convicted of 34 felonies. Should he be able to run for president of the United States of America? And if legally he can, and if he can, why not take the felony off applications? Because the average person with a felony, they have a hard time. They have a very difficult time getting a job.
You know, Raheem, I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again this morning. He should not be running for president. He's not fit to run for president.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot lead by example. A felon should not be in the Oval Office, let alone one that's having that many felonies. And anytime we go for a job, we have to go, go through so much chaos. Mm-hmm. Even if something is something that's small, maybe like a drug deal or something that's small, something that somebody may have got caught up in, and you still cannot have certain jobs. Mm-hmm. So why should a felon, all because he's Donald Trump, gets to run, gets to be put on the ballot again after all he's done? He's a bold demon. He's a brazen devil. He do what he want to do. He changed the rules to suit him. And if they mess around and play and let him get back in that office, he's going to change a whole lot more rules concerning him, things that suit him. And I think America have dropped the ball. I do believe that. We should not look over what he's done. Had this been President Obama or any other president, any other Democratic president would have done what this clown have done and are still continuing to do. They would not even be allowed to even be on the ballot. But because people are drunk on Trump, drunk on stupidity, drunk on ignorance, they still let this man do what he want to do, and they twist the rules to suit him. Mm-hmm. They twist the rules. He change the rules as he goes, and people are okay with that. And it shows how low that America have sunk. The values are not there anymore. The values, we've never had no convicted felon, someone who pays a prostitute hush money, all this crazy stuff. We never had this mess going on in any other election with any other president. Even Bill Clinton, when he served his time, they got him out of office. He done what he done, they got him out of office. But all this crazy stuff right here that this man is doing, how can we forget about January 6th? I think people don't forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Who wants to go through that again? Let him get up in there again, and you vote him out again. You're going to have another January 6th. So somebody better stop being drunk on stupid and go to the ballots and vote this upcoming November. Because it's crazy. We don't have to lower our values, lower our standards because of Donald Trump. If he gets convicted 5 more times, it's okay. It's not okay. It's never okay. You giving this man the most powerful job in the whole country, in the world. You give him the most powerful job. That's president. That's like giving a child. That's like putting a set of keys in a child's hand and say, go drive the car. In the 5-year-old hand say, go drive the car. That's dangerous for all of us. So let's stop being silly and looking over what this man is doing and playing around. This ain't no joke. It's not no game. They're trying to get this man this position again. And we all are going to be in trouble. Someone with a brain hitting the size of Donald Trump should never be in charge of nuclear code. Never. Somebody that can't be told no should never have that much authority. And like I say, we dropped the ball. America have lowered their standards to suit a criminal, because that's what he is, a criminal.
People out there that really believe in Trump, that really want.
Hello.
Hold on, who's saying hello?
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my connection.
Okay. Yeah, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. There's some people out there, man, that really believe in Trump and believe that Trump is going to be the make America great again guy. Make it great again for who? Anyway, Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
What's up, man? What's going on with you?
Hey, man, you hear this conversation, brother? Talk to me.
Man, people need to stop. I love my sister. I learned so much from her, man.
Which one you talking? Who you talking about?
Toya.
Toya, okay.
Stop. I know the power of God. Listen. If that's the case, if I go with that theory, right, then all of us need to be locked up. If I go with that theory and I go with moral fortitude, or if I go with man, I wasn't ready for this deep of a conversation this morning, Raheem, but I'm still having my coffee and I'm still having my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if that's the case, we all need to be locked up. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, I have a personal connection with that man through my wife. That man been a crook since we was kids, y'all. And the sad reality is he messed over the first set of people that he really messed over. Him and his daddy messed over was the elderly. What do you think? What do you think when you go up the Hudson, when you ride up the Hudson, you see all the buildings say Trump? What do you think they was before they was buildings that had Trump on them? There was low income affordable housing. Come on, man, look, man, the man is a crook. The man been convicted. Now, if you telling me that he should not be charged this, that, and the third, then guess what? You might as well just throw the prison doors open and let every convict out. Let every inmate out. Let every person that's in there out of jail. If you're going to let this man get away with these kinds of crimes. We haven't even talked about murder. He done murdered a few people. He done gave an order to murder a few people. You got a woman, I want to say they was from California. I can't remember exactly where they was from. He allowed that to happen to Khashoggi with no retribution. His son-in-law got paid, they say, $5 billion from the Saudi government. I keep talking about Joe and Hunter. You talk about something that happened years ago, more than 7 years ago, when this dude was the addict, and you bringing it up trying to compare it to now, to something that just happened. This dude that went and told you, okay, look, yeah, I did that. Woo. He done admitted he did it. Quit playing that identity politics foolishness. And you know what? If you wrong, you wrong. I'd go to jail. I'm just saying, Raheem. I'm just speaking with passion. I'm not screaming.
Yeah.
But ours go to jail or lose their jobs permanently. Do I need to list names? I can list names. Rod Blagojevich went to jail. He went to jail. He wasn't the president, but he was the governor. That's the next thing to the president. You might as well say he's the president of the state. Rod Blagojevich went to jail. Charles Ringel was sanctioned, couldn't speak no more. Period. Get up. Anthony Weiner, career destroyed. Every single one of the Democrat representatives who have found themselves in the midst of a scandal has either gone to jail or careers have been deaded.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But here it is. If you Republican, you can be in the midst of a scandal, guilty. People literally showing up
Mm-hmm.
and testifying and said, no, he told me this.
Mm-hmm.
No, he told me that.
Good deal.
We want to sit here and say they all do it.
Mm-hmm.
That is an excuse to not hold your guy accountable.
Okay, stay right there, Curtis. Don't you go nowhere. Let's keep this thing going. We got to keep it going. Hold on, brother. Hold on. We got to keep it going. There's a lot going on with this particular topic. Well, let me go to Mo. Leonard, coming to you next. Mo, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, one thing that is being talked about right now is the upcoming official nominations for the party. When they go to the RNC and officially nominate, and the DNC and officially nominate the presidency, what if one or both of these men die? And then it's up in the air. Some people are saying you could see Kamala and Michelle Obama being nominated against one another. Some people say on the Republican side, you could see Nikki Haley or the other, I can't remember her name, who was feeling up her boyfriend at the theater, or even Marjorie Taylor Greene. So what will happen? We can actually see, we can actually see the possibility of two women running as president on both sides. Because look what happened in Mexico yesterday. They have their first female president who is of Jewish heritage. Born in Mexico, of Jewish heritage, and now the U.S. is saying that their whole relationship with Mexico might change. Why is that? And as I said, the question is, if we see in the RNC if Trump and Biden die, or if they're incapacitated in any particular way, Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama on the Democratic side, Nikki Haley or Marjorie Taylor Greene on the RNC side, who do you think would win in this type of situation? Who would you support if you're voting Democrat, Kamala or Michelle?
Is that an open question?
That's an open question.
Michelle.
Okay. That's what was just on my heart. I'm like, let's think about it in that situation. Even the whole thing with the charges for Trump, what he has done, been convicted of, what should happen. The justice system has got to roll a certain way. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. The fact of the matter is Hunter Biden lied on his federal gun application. Okay. If Biden loses, he can pardon his son because it's a federal crime. Okay. So even, going back to those people, J. Edgar Hoover was.
You say if Biden loses, he can pardon his son?
Oh, yes. Before he leaves office.
Before he leaves. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before he leaves office, he can do his pardons.
Wow. Okay. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I'll be on page with Mo when it comes to opinions, because I completely disagree with, and like Kurt started. This is not about everybody else.
Now I ain't gonna let y'all just jump on my little sister like that. Now y'all.
This is about the presidency of the United States.
I'm with it. Let's go.
Anybody who believes that it's something that you don't have to be concerned about,
look at this girl,
is completely lost when it comes to politics. We are a stabilizing force around the world. Okay, we have more weapons than almost anybody. We have proven to take the lead on the majority of issues in the entire world when others won't. So we must protect democracy. Now, if you're not about democracy, say so. Then I understand your point. If you're not about democracy, if you are so sadistic, you think you're going to stand and watch this place burn down and don't catch fire, you a fool.
Wow.
What makes you think what makes you think that everything's just going to burn down around you? I vote Democrat specifically for the ideals of democracy and what can be accomplished with that mindset, not what everybody else has done, not how other people have used power, but actually, if you get out of that, can look through some other perspective than the lens of what has happened, and instead look towards the future of what it could be, you would have the strength and the fortitude to challenge evil wherever it really is. Now, to say we shouldn't do this now because everybody else has done this, that, and that makes no sense. It's no sense at all. Some people sold drugs, but everybody didn't go to jail. So the notion that all of a sudden now we need to all just give up and we need to just go on over to the devil's side of things just because that's the way we usually do it, it's asinine.
Wow. What time is it? We're gonna stay on this just for a few more minutes, then we're gonna switch on to another topic. This has been real powerful, and everybody is real passionate about this particular topic, which is a good thing. Good, we'll have those topics like that everybody's passionate about. Toya, what did talk to me, sis? Toya?
You know I've been jumped before, right?
Come on.
I've been jumped before.
Yes.
It ain't nothing to me because I said what I said and I believe what I believe. People said, oh, you absolutely right. Little drug dealers get locked up all the time. They never go after head kingpin. Never. They got to build cases, but they out in the background going to dinner with them. Come on with the joke. See, listen. We be acting like we know this system, but then we go lean right into it. I don't want to hear that. We saw Trump riding around with all these cats 37 years ago, bro. That's why he not going to jail. Come on now, stop. They all ran together. Him, all the judges, all the senators, they all ran together back in the day. He was a man back in the day. He didn't help them get booty back in the day. That's why he could say the things he say, do the things he do, and get away with it. Because he don't roll with these cats. Let's stop acting like we don't know how this go. And you want to talk about us on this line? You absolutely right. How many of us has committed crimes and haven't, except for you, Raheem? We know you're perfect. But how many of us have committed crimes, done things, got in trouble for them, or not got in trouble for them? Other people have. Come on with the jokes. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. If we're going to be 100, we're going to be 100. You're going to blame one, you're going to blame them all. So we're going to be 100 right here. We're not going to pick and choose. That's not cool because that's what they do to us. I was finna say the N-word. That's what they do to us all the time. They want to pick and see which one going to be in the house, which one going to be the field guy, which one going to do this, which one going to be the snitch. And we just fall for when at the end of the day, all of them is running that system. So now we're just sitting here speculating and talking because we can only sit here and speculate and talk off of what we go through because we get locked up when we do stuff, not them. So, no, I don't care if it could be 17 of y'all on here going against me. That don't move me none. Because I said what I said and I am who I am and I believe what I believe and ain't nobody taking that from me. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter, but what I am saying is I'm a person who try not to have no tinted glasses on. I try to see things for what they are. And because I am a previous felon, currently still, but doesn't matter. I don't commit in felonious activities anymore. I've been delivered. So certain things I don't do, but I still look at things from an honest perspective. And he's a fall guy.
Let me ask you a question, Toya.
Everything they charge him for.
Let me ask you a question. It is said, maybe be written, that a felon is not supposed to own a weapon and not supposed to own a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You can't own it. Now,
Right.
Trump.
That's when you go by the law.
If,
I own a gun.
yeah,
That's when you go by the law.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't you say that on here, girl. Don't you say that on here. But my thing is this right here. Should Trump be able to, with 34 convictions, should he have that quote unquote again presidential treatment and be able to carry a gun because he was the president of the United States? He got to protect himself. Should he be able to carry a gun? Should he be able to own a weapon?
Well, if he's a convicted felon, they said no, right? I mean, okay, now you gonna tell me to answer the question or not? Am I gonna be honest? Or we gonna sit up here and play on the system like we don't know how stuff really go down again?
Let's be honest. I hear you, Annie. Hold on for 1 second. Let's be honest. That's what we do.
If we're gonna be honest, then you know cats on the street that got felonies carry guns. They don't go ask nobody. They don't ask nobody. We know that those people in those offices that operate this America, we know they do drugs. They're legal. We know they do coke and it's illegal. We know they sex traffic kids and it's illegal. We know they have sex with underage kids, girls, and it's illegal. Nobody's asking permission to be a criminal. So by law, if paper would say he owned the gun, no. But that man been doing what he wanted to do. All of a sudden now it's 74. Because all these people now said, you think that he gonna change? I'm sorry, now he ain't gonna. It's not gonna make a difference for him. Those things only makes differences for us.
Okay, so because of the fact that he's been who he's been for 74 years, should we give him a pass? Okay, he just being Donald Trump, give him a pass. He ain't gonna do right no way. Just give him a pass. Let him do what he wants to do.
No, we're not giving him a pass. It is what it is. They gave him the pass, letting him be the president. Now, if we choose, if we the people choose, which I'm gonna leave that alone about the whole voting system anyway. But if the people supposedly so-called choose to have him, then I mean, what are you saying right now? Because nobody appointed him; he was chosen, right?
Yeah, that's
by the people, right? Okay, so I mean, come on with the jokes. He's not an appointed person. They allowed him to run. They knew he was a wild guy. They knew what it was. They did it trying to be funny, but the people really feeling him because they feel like he's a real American. He a real sinner. He open and sin, and he don't walk around acting like he perfect. You know who he is. Again, listen. I can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, and the Democrats just it ain't the move.
Good deal. Okay, hold on right there. Hold on right there, Toy. We got to keep this thing moving. Don't y'all go nowhere. Everybody stay right where you are. And from Mississippi, talk to me.
Okay, you know what, Raheem? It is what it is. I mean, I still stand on this. If people cannot see Trump for what he really is, then I'm sorry. Nothing I can do. Nothing else I can say. If people cannot see this man for the evil individual that he is, I'm sorry. Trump do not care for nobody but the rich. The poor black, the poor white, he has nothing for you to do. It's all about your money level. So, people think Trump really cares for them and he's going to make America great again. Well, the last 4 years he was in there, he didn't make America great again. What did he do for America in the last 4 years? What didn't he do that he's going to do this time if he get in? What didn't he already do? All the promises he made. What big thing did he do for America in the last 4 years? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Everybody act like God gonna send him down and he gonna do this, that, and the other. What did he do that he haven't done in the last 4 years? Kept up drama, giving the codes to Russia. January 6th, I can't get over that one. All the things he's done and making all those promises, and people just, God, he's gonna change America. That's straight up stupidity right there. He was in office. I didn't see nothing he changed. I see what he did do when he got voted out, when he lost. I saw what he did do on January 6th. I saw some people die up at the Capitol. I saw people climbing the building. asking for his vice president. I saw people climbing the building, asking for Nancy Pelosi. I saw people do all that. I saw him could have called him off, but he did it until the very last minute. I saw that happen. I saw that. I saw people scared. I saw that happen. But now he's a changed man. Are you freaking serious? Are you kidding me right now? Call him somebody else, Raheem. To me, this is very ignorant. It's crazy.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let me go to who I'm gonna go to right now. Let me go to Tucson. Head and talk to Tucson in a minute. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? And this is not your topic. I know it, bro. I know this ain't your topic. You don't like talking about politics. But let's talk. Let's talk, brother.
No. You know what it is? It's just me. A cry for Barabbas. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. And the reason why I say that is because somebody that's like us says, and here's, I don't mean no harm, and people, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say anyway. But I don't mean it directly at one person or anybody, but we all like that. We would rather have somebody that's a criminal just like us. We all sinners. We all got problems. We all got issues. Give us Barabbas so that we can make ourselves feel better.
Preach.
But at the same time, where is
Show
our
me Jesus
stand
first.
and just and honesty and morals and values? Are we there where we will compromise what we say we stand for just so that we can have a talking point? That makes absolutely no sense. But then when you talk about it again and you look through history, we're doing the same thing again. I would rather have Barabbas among us rather than Jesus.
Wow.
It's almost like putting ourselves in the midst of paradise and telling us, we got echo behind, telling and clearly understanding what God said and what we can have a right to, but we choose the tree of knowledge and good and evil with the tree of life right there on the side of it, and we don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
This is what we are. The same thing with as in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. We're here. This is where we are.
Wow.
I don't try to change nobody's mind because people are passionate about how they feel, and you hear it. It is what it is. But when the rubber meets the road, when you stand for something, it's kind of like Moses is saying, whoever's on the Lord's side, come here. And some people, I'm sorry, I don't want to be on the side of you when the ground open up.
Wow.
Because it sure enough will.
Curtis, talk to me, brother. We're gonna switch up this topic in just a minute or two, man. We're gonna revisit this thing another. We maybe revisit again tomorrow, but right now we want to go to another direction. But Curtis, before we do that, what's on your heart, brother?
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I agree with my sister's comments, with Toya's comments, right? Just for the sake of gaining a greater understanding. So if I agree with my sister Toya's comments, then why would I want to send him back to office if he's one of them? And if I'm going to stand on the fact that he's exposing them, then I have to look at, from a sociological perspective, I have to look at why. What is his purpose for biting the hand that feeds him. So if I go by street code, I'm supposed to do away with him. If I go by street code.
Mm-hmm.
Because in all reality, if I go by street code, he's a snitch. He's a rat. So if I go by street code, or if I go by the code that's on the yard, I'm supposed to do away with him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go with what my sis saying, then why would I want to send him back to office without understanding what's in it for him?
Preach.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm reminded of, sometimes we watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it. Me, I'm one of those people that I what's the word I'm looking for? I prone. So I watch a multitude of things, just like I don't have a favorite type of music. I listen to all types of music.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the interview with Michael Francesco, the old mafia don,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he got a podcast. He had Sammy the Bull on his podcast. They started talking about Donald Trump. Sammy the Bull gave us a full explanation of what Donald Trump was, who he is, and why the mafia never touched him. And it was so eye-opening that I said, wow. Because with all the foolishness that he had going on, a lot of people don't know, this man got like every bit of like 3 to 4 different ethnicities that the only reason they won't kill him is because of what he did in New York, the way he set his thing in New York, to where he made himself untouchable, along with the fact, you know what they used to call him, Raheem?
What's that?
You know what the mafia used to call him?
Mm.
The little kid in the tower. That's what his nickname was with the mob.
Mm-hmm.
The mob Ben wanted to kill him. Ben wanted to kill him. When John Gotti was alive, they wanted to kill him. The only reason they did not kill him, because what he did was, now get this, y'all, he would hire ex-FBI agents and ex-FBI investigators as his bodyguards. Why is that? That was so that he could basically see to it that the mob wouldn't hit him. You know why? Because all of the agents that he hired were agents who were on cases. When they worked for the FBI, they were on cases investigating those very same mobsters. So the mobsters knew, man, he's untouchable. We can't touch him. We want to, but we cannot touch him because of the fact that if we touch him, that case is going to come straight to our door, because those bodyguards know us. They know our habits. They know the things we like to do. He's untouchable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you want to, Donald just completely stood in the middle of the zoo, of the Bronx Zoo, and took a fastball and put it in Boston.
Mm.
We are being asked by evil people with evil intentions to free Barabbas.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Anybody have anything real quickly, very quickly to say? We're gonna move on to another topic. It's right now, it's 8:32, so we got to move on to another topic. Anybody have anything real quickly they want to say on this particular topic before we move on?
The fact that a great many people believe something is no guarantee of its truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Anybody else?
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there because it's like we talking about Barabbas. We're only talking about Trump. We're not talking about him in comparison to. I'm only talking about this man in comparison to President for the United States against who we have. You got Barabbas, and then you got the devil. What's the difference? Biden ain't no thing. I mean, I'm just saying. Biden is any better? Biden is any less worse? That's all I'm saying. I'm just having a equal, honest ground. And it's a shame that adults cannot talk about politics and religion without being disrespectful and want to imply about someone about their opinion. That's the saddest part that aggravates me about the conversation sometimes, because it's like you can come from me. I don't care. I can feel the energy. I'm just speaking about my opinion. And then it's like you can tell the energy when people want to make you feel like you're less than or you're ignorant or whatever it is because you have a difference of opinion. And I don't think that's cool. If we're gonna be adults and have conversation, right? Just have a conversation. But to want to walk away and make someone feel less, like you made your impression, or the same way you may feel I'm ignorant about my thoughts is the same way I feel like you are ignorant about my thoughts. I'm ignorant about your thoughts. But I don't think I try to, make you feel like you're an idiot in my speech. We're just talking about, an a roundabout thing. And I think if we're going to really have this conversation on the morning show, we should try to keep it on the up and up instead of trying to make somebody feel a kind of way about their opinion.
Yeah. And like I say all the time, everybody got their own opinion. I'm not here to give anybody theirs. And we just give everybody a platform to speak whatever their opinion is. We don't have to agree. But we will be respectful toward each other, and absolutely right. We will give everybody the right to have their opinion. Anybody else have anything they want to say before we move on? Tucson. No. Somebody saying something. Go ahead.
Hello. I'm sorry. I was double tapping. Say what now?
No. I was just asking, did you have anything else to say before we move on to the next?
Man, look. Every dog got his day. We are at the point that you got two old men that we put too much emphasis on because everybody got to die. And so I don't want to. I just want to make some sense out of the matter. How long you think they're gonna live? While you fussing and fighting and cutting up and willing to sacrifice a whole country for foolishness because everybody do this, everybody got something. Oh, come on now. Look, we're the laughing stock of the whole world. I'm laughing because it's funny to me. For intelligent people that are straining and struggling to make every day's ends meet, and we willing to sacrifice all that we're struggling to do just to have a talking point. You go right ahead and keep talking.
Wow. Again, 508. Go ahead.
Let me say this because I don't want my words to be taken the way that I feel like they were taken. Toya, I value your opinion more than I value most. And I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I value your opinion more than I value most. You have said some things on this line that literally made me transmogrify my whole sense of being. But I feel like because I value your opinion that much, if your opinion is swayed or does not make sense to me, I'm just speaking for me, I feel like I know you well enough that I can say, see, that don't add up right there, right? So if I made you feel like it was not, your opinion is not valued, please forgive me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Please forgive me because I value your opinion more than you think I do.
Wow. That's good. Well, we're going to change the topic, and this is a topic that may not be popular at all. may not be popular at all, but I want to hear each and every one of yours actual standpoint and how y'all feel about this thing. And let's be 100 with it. Let's be 100 with it. Annie from Mississippi. Annie?
Yes.
I'm going to start this off with you. I saw a clip a couple of days ago. It was an African woman, and she was being interviewed somewhere here in America, and the gentleman asked her a question about poverty. Somebody ruffling some pots. I'll mute your line, everybody, who are ruffling some pots. But talk to her about poverty, and what she said made me take a step back and look. But she said that Christianity and how it is and how it's set up is one of the major vehicles to keep people poor. Do you agree with that?
Well, I guess it all depends on how you look at it, Raheem, because Christianity in itself cannot keep anyone poor. But if she was probably talking about it from the full-wall church aspect.
Yes. Yes, she
was.
was.
Let me put this disclaimer out there. Not all churches, but I'm going to say a lot of them. The things that they do in the church, the requirements, how they continuing asking people to, do certain things, always the programs going on, always something that you got to participate in. If you don't, then you're the bad person. I can see how she say that, because I told you before, I heard people say that they can't afford to go to church.
Yeah.
And that come from a place of, them having a monthly income. And when you get to the church, how they are wanting, you to give so much. And I'm not saying giving to the church is bad by any means, but I'm just saying that some of the churches do go overboard with it. I can understand you having a vision. I can understand all that, but you got to make sure that, the people, that's in the church is going to be able to do all this stuff. So there are many churches like that. I know one personally that really is bad about doing that. They constantly something going on all the time. Every other day is something, and people just can't afford, to go and do it.
Yeah.
And then at one point they start calling you at home to see, why you wasn't here. Can you send your money through Cash App?
Good Lord.
It's yeah, exactly. So, I can understand what she said. Christianity, not Christianity, the way that the four-wall church is set up.
Yeah.
This is some man done. This has nothing to do with being a Christian. This is something that man done. Man wants to have the biggest and the loudest and the best in the neighborhood, the biggest church in the city and all that other stuff. That's all about man. Have nothing to do with God, because you can have a walk with God and not even be in the four walls. I'm not saying, the Bible says assemble ourselves together. I understand that. Fellowship is important. I understand that. But I'm talking about the way that in 2024, what's going on in the church today. Some of this stuff have gotten ridiculous.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Asking a question. She said that Christianity is one of the major vehicles towards keeping people poor. Toussaint, what do you say to that?
Jesus paid it all.
Lord. Oh, let me hold on before you don't answer. Let me do my shout out. Good morning, Mama. Love you. I see you watching over there, Mama. Love you dearly, baby. Love you. Thank you for watching. Love you, Mama. Go ahead, Toussaint.
Love you, Mama, and I'm gonna behave. I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, you ain't.
I'm gonna try to behave.
You're gonna try, okay?
Because this conversation will have me saying some stuff that absolutely is just. I might not be the smartest book on the shelf, but look now. Let's just make some sense of it. What are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about because I'm confused. I don't like ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
Uh-oh.
I don't like conversations that play on our ignorance. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind being ignorant. I just don't like to stay ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to join in with ignorant folks, does that help me be anything more than ignorant?
Say that.
Mm.
Christianity, um, what you say, keep us poor? What?
Yes. Yeah, she said Christianity is one of the major vehicles towards keeping people poor.
Okay, so let's root Christianity out. Let's just root it out because somebody else is Christian. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about righteousness and godliness. And righteousness and godliness will never have you poor.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you submit to God's will and way and obedience, in obedience, I hadn't got there yet. I might as well admit it. It's better than sacrifice, and God will take care of you because you're taking care of Him.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be poor. And anybody believes anything other than that, you're sadly mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll stand on that. Because nobody, even when they have trials and issues and problems and situations and circumstances that seem like they get unbearable, God will allow you to get in a ditch and get you out and double your trouble. Give you double for your trouble. It's been happening over and over and over again. Even when they don't mention his name, he work it out. And if y'all ain't seen that,
Mm-hmm.
throw your Bible away and you believe in go worship a tree. You'd be
Wow.
better off.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Curtis, what do you say to that, man? She said, and she really feels she was very, very adamant about it, man. And some people started to agree with her. Well, she said that the church is one of the main vehicles. And she said the church. Now, I want to make it clear. She said the church. She didn't say Christianity. She said the church is one of the main vehicles towards, well, she did say Christianity, towards keeping people poor. What do you say to that? Curtis?
Yeah, I'm right here. You know, I'm glad you clarified. And she said the church.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's recorded in history that the church has done some really foul things to its body.
Mm-hmm.
One, the church is just a building established by men. The Spirit of God is with man, is in man. So I could see where her point that she was trying to make is valid.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I can see. I remember being a boy, 8 years old, just started going to church every Sunday and every Wednesday. And I'll never forget, a pastor pulled me in the back, me with about 12, 15 other young boys, and told us that in order for us to continue to come to this church, we had to bring $50 a week.
Good Lord.
I was 8 years old right here.
Is that a church or a membership?
I was in 1980. I was 8 years old.
Is that a church or a membership?
My point exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And what 8-year-old kid you know in the 1980s was capable of getting $50 a week?
No.
So when I believe that when man has forgotten that the church is a hospital for souls and has turned himself to believe that the church is a bank account for his pocket, I believe she is right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in all my
Wow.
readings, scriptures, canons, and texts, I think, if I remember, I think there's only 2 times in the Bible that it tells us that Jesus actually preached in a church.
Mm.
Back then, they didn't call them churches; they called them synagogues.
Synagogue, yeah, in the synagogue. Mm-hmm.
Right? One time, he had any kind of instruction. He was a child. The next
Mhm.
time is in Capernaum. But other than that, Jesus' ministry, if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably wrong. I probably overlooked something or didn't read something. But from what I read, other than that, all of Jesus' ministry was on a stoop.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that was.
Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Gonna keep this thing going. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, so much has passed by. First of all, the devil advocate is his supporter. Remember that.
Mm.
I don't even play the devil's advocate. Ain't that how the quote goes?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Tucson said something that I'm gonna put on the board and I'm gonna work with it. Free Barabbas.
Mm-hmm.
Free Barabbas. That really stood out to me, Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about certain things is you have to understand the difference between foolishness and that which is worth something. Things that are worth something you can actually use.
Mm-hmm.
Foolishness you can just talk about. You can think you don't say something, put it on a stage in front of different people and see how that work out.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about intelligence. It makes you turn away from foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what churches y'all been going to, or what y'all don't heard, or what y'all don't done, or how y'all feel, or whatever. Ain't a Negro in this world can make me do something I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You sure can't get it if I ain't got it. If you hate church, say that. Say that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't just stand there and throw rocks. Pick a side. Nobody making you do nothing.
Well, then I don't think you are not picking a side or wavering. If you look at some of the facts and some of the factual data that's out there, you know, some churches are absolutely amazing. I've been in quite a few of them that's absolutely amazing. That's doing some amazing things. I've also been in a church service where the pastor, you know, they do the collection and the pastor come up there and say, we didn't raise enough money today. We didn't raise enough money today. And man, you know, and look at everybody need to pass this thing around. We're gonna pass this thing back around one more time, and everybody need to dig a little deeper into your pockets and give some more money. Don't let, you know, and told us don't let nobody out of here until we raise X amount of money. Man, we left. We got up and we left. You can't keep me in here, man, if I don't want to be here. I ain't been a part of this.
That's why I don't understand what y'all be a part of, which almost makes me believe that you're telling someone else's story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we've all been in churches where they raise funds. I mean, what's so bad about that?
But Leonard, that's different. To me, that's different because if you pass your collection plate and people give what they're gonna give, they gave what they wanted to give at that particular time. Don't hold people hostage and say we didn't raise enough money today. You know, we ain't raising enough money for this, or we ain't raising enough money for that. We're gonna pass it around again, and don't let nobody out of here until we reach a certain mark of money. Man, come on, man.
I don't know where y'all going.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, I ain't gonna tell you what it was.
Where y'all see,
yeah.
That's the thing about it. I won't tell you that. No, that's the problem. You need to tell somebody so they don't go over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, because if I know something, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit and make fun of it, poke at it, talk about it if I don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, anybody can say anything. A lie don't care who tell it.
Mm-hmm.
The lie you repeat is still a lie.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So when you're going to say something, stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it ain't worth saying. You heard me?
I heard you. But at the same time, man, you got to admit that there are some churches out there, man, that some buildings of worship, and let me say it that way, some buildings of worship that are not set up the right way. Man has superseded what God has called him to do, if that makes any sense.
Well, no, because I don't know, and I don't get involved with people in they call or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I could care where you go or what you do. There's plenty of competition for churches. I'm sure there's one right down the street that you could go to. I don't really care nothing about people and their churches. That's not my thing. Now, if you're go to a church and y'all need a church van, I don't see nothing wrong with raising money to get the church a van. I don't see nothing wrong with getting all the things that you enjoy when you come to service and all that. What all that is, whatever it is. So if you're not giving from an open heart, don't do it. You know what money's for. Ain't no money going to heaven.
Right, and that's exactly why I said, and we elected to get up and walk out of that.
Exactly.
We're not gonna be a part of that. If we gave something, we gave what maybe we could give, what we had to give, or what we could afford to give, and to come back and chastise these people in that way, or guilt them into giving more money.
Like what we say sometimes.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
If you sit there and let somebody keep hitting you, at some point you're gonna admit you like being hit.
Facts.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. K with an E. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Blessed and everyone.
Good to have you, sis. Good to have you with us. There was a young lady, African lady. She was being interviewed here in America. A gentleman was interviewing her, and they was talking about church, tithing. And and one of the things that she said during that thing is the church is one of the main vehicles towards keeping people poor. The church is one of the main, she said the church is one of the main vehicles towards keeping people poor. Do you agree with that?
I don't, because our pastor, first he had a meeting. And he said, I don't want y'all to pay me. That money y'all pay me, I'm going to tithe back to the church. So just put it on back into the tithe. I don't want y'all to pay me. He told us he used to do the most when he was running the streets. So we see him in red bottoms. We didn't buy those red bottoms. He been had them. We didn't buy those suits. He been had them. He had them took up because he said, God working on me. I'm losing weight. He said, I used to stump the streets in these shoes. Now I'm praising God in them. That's how well I took care of them. He said, I don't need your money. He said, ministry needs your money. He said, we got the Women's Day, Men's Day, Youth Day. He said, well, I'm counseling Women's Day. I'm counseling Men's Day because y'all think I need y'all's money. Ministry do. He said, but the youth ministry, I got that. My senior citizen ministry, I got that. And that's what he do. And when he came there, we had a mortgage note out this world. During COVID, he put some bricks up on the stage and had people to volunteer to say they'll pay $100 a month. Let's get rid of it. Let's eliminate the mortgage note. And then we own the church. This church is ours. We have baby showers in the church. As long as you ain't trying to drink and party, you don't have to worry about renting nothing because the church is big. You can have everything here and anything here. So it's a reason for us. And I'm one of those that said, I'll pay that $100 a month to help eliminate that mortgage note because I understand the purpose of owning the church building as one, on one accord, and not the preacher. It's not the preacher's building. It's ours. So when you get a preacher that come in there and he preached that, and he lay it down and tell you this is how he wanted it, because this is what God gave him, and this is a vision, then you got some church members be like, oh, he just want our money. Well, he said it straight because he kept hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it straight. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need your money. Ministry do, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all want to have this and have that. We're going to Branson, Missouri to see the Esther story.
Mm-hmm.
It cost us $120. They extended it for the men as well. So I thank God for our church
Mm-hmm.
and our pastor and our members, because I've been to some churches where you can't even talk to the pastor because the first lady said he might cheat on her.
Mm.
So you got to go through her. You got to go through the first lady just to talk to the pastor. I left that church because she's not the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a problem and I'm going through something and I need to talk to my pastor, I need my pastor to talk to me, not the first lady.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going through something and I feel like it's a lady problem, I need to talk to her, then I'll call her.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that the pastor needs to pray for me, that's why he's the pastor.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So they got to be able to trust your pastor. And I don't know, it's a lot going on in the churches. I can say that.
Exactly. Mo, what's on your heart, man? What do you say to that, man? Is the church one of the main vehicles towards keeping people poor?
Well, I wouldn't say it's the church. It may be the ideology of the particular church and of the particular minister. I put up some quotes by Reverend Ike, where one of the main principles of the prosperity gospel, who had said the best thing you can do for the poor is not be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about God himself, and with mind power. So he created, an incredible empire and gave message that it's okay to be wealthy. All right. So, in his particular church, that wasn't the case. Then there was my pastor, or my old pastor, his father, the Reverend Wallace Hartsfield in Kansas City, Missouri. His church saw that there were all these dilapidated crack houses that were for sale for $5 and money, and they created a real estate fund, bought up that nasty block, and opened a Burger King franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And all the monies went back to the church. People in the community had jobs, and the church just grew. So right there, it's about the mindset of where you are, what you're doing. And even going back further, Reverend James Cleveland, they said when he died, the church itself was in debt after he died because he had been floating the church for years on his estate because people had stopped giving. And there were so many emergencies popping up within that church. So again, it's the mentality, your ministry, and ideology. If your church is talking about being broke, be quiet when you're suffering in poverty, God's going to help you, his eyes on the sparrow, lily in the field. But if he doesn't tell you to go out in the vineyard because the work is plenty, but the workers are few, and you're not going to be one of the workers, you're going to take your talents and bury them. And then when the master comes back, you haven't expanded anything. If they're not talking about something to that effect, then you may want to look at what you're trying to get out of church.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. And I don't want people to lose vision of what we're saying here, because this young lady, yes.
He mentioned 2 churches in Kansas City. I'm not even going to speak on one of them, but he mentioned 2 people. And, well, if you lived in Kansas City, I wonder what would you think?
Wow. Wow. 508-924-3521. We're asking a question. Young lady was an African young lady. She was in an interview, and she said her comment was this, that the church is one of the main vehicles towards keeping people poor. Mindset, I don't know what she's meant, the mindset, how it's set up, how it's structured, or what. But she said it was one of the main vehicles towards keeping people poor. Cassandra. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Do you agree with that? Can you see is there any validity in what she said?
I don't think so. Because everyone is an individual. You determine, you and God determine your destiny or your destination, where you go. However she came to that conclusion, it's on her. And if that's what she believes, that's what she believes. On a point like this, I'm with Leonard. People do whatever they want to do. So if you think that the church is keeping you, why would you say that? Keeping you impoverished, in an impoverished state, then why would you say that? Go to another church where you can, flourish and make the money or whatever it is that you feel like you're not getting from that church. That's with anything. Raheem, people choose. If you at a church where you feel like they're holding you back or that they're not helping, make you grow your faith or whatever, then you need to leave. But I don't agree with that statement, but it's her opinion.
Yeah.
And she's welcome to it.
Okay, now what do you say to a person that would say to you, Cassandra, and they talking directly to you, and they use the example of Evander Holyfield? We're not going to name the name of the church. Everybody here in Atlanta know what church you should go to. Very popular church here in this area, in the Atlanta area. But he said every time he had a fight.
Is you talking about World Changes?
Leonard.
You so crazy,
Leonard. I need to keep your mind. I didn't call the name for a reason, Leonard. I didn't call the name for a reason.
Hey,
walk with me, Leonard. But my thing is this right here. He said that every time he had a fight, millions of dollars, he always donated, gave his tithe to the church, and a lot of time it was always six figures, at least six figures. He gave it to the church because of the fact that he felt that that's what he was supposed to do. All the way up until the time he stopped fighting, he was no longer fighting, and he ran into a financial situation where he was about to lose his mansion. Went to the church, and they said, "We don't have any money for that. We don't have any money for that. We don't. We know he lost. He lost his home. Actually, Rick Ross is living in his home right now.
Rick Ross is, Rick Ross has it.
Rick Ross is living in his home right now that he lost because of the fact that he couldn't get any help from the very church that he put millions of dollars in. Cassandra, what do you say to that? I mean, that's one of them examples right there that she's talking about.
You're talking about millions of dollars, and you know what I do in the community. I have went to some of these big churches, especially the smaller churches seem to try to at least to help their people.
Yes.
The bigger churches, you got to jump through hoops, run 10 miles, do a backflip, and then, do something else for them to even help you.
Yeah.
I had a young lady that was attending. She was a faithful tither. Her light, she was working her lights. She got sick. I think she was sick or something, but she got behind in her bills, and her lights were set to be turned off. And she came to my ministry and asked, could we help? I did not have the money. I said, but listen, you're a faithful tither. Why don't you go to your church, take your light bill, and let them know that you need some help? First of all, she had to get an appointment, which is okay. I ain't got no problem with people doing appointments. She had to get an appointment, which was like 4 days in, 4 or 5 days in. Then she went in. They gave her a set of papers that looked like a mini book to fill out. Right? So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to help her. I'm saying to myself, are these people for real? And so after she filled out, I sat there, helped her fill out all the paperwork. After she filled out the paperwork, they looked at it. They said, okay, we'll take it to the deacons or whoever the people is, and give us 5 to 6 days, and they'll make a decision. If they decide to give you the money back, give you the money, they had a clause that said you would pay the church back. What the heck?
Wow.
What the heck? And her bill was like $300.
it was like 2 months behind, so it was like $300 and something. So Holyfield asking for, I'm sure he was asking for hundreds of thousands probably, ain't had a chance. Because if they don't want to give you $200, $300 when you a faithful tither.
Wow.
I don't get it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had several experiences with churches because that's what my organization do. We try to resource. We don't have the money to give people. If I do, I'll do it. But if we go to their church, help them, well, your church should help you, and then they go and they're like, no, we can't do it. $200, $300, we can't do it. Your rent may be due. They're not willing to help you. That's a shortcoming in the church.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It is. It really is. It really is. Kurt, talk to me, brother. Kurt? Did we lose Kurt? Yeah, we might have lost Kurt. Okay. Annie from Mississippi, talk to me, sis.
So glad you came to me because just yesterday I had a member of the church to call me, and I was in Walgreens getting some stuff, and I told her I would call her back. And when I got out of Walgreens and I called her back, she was asking me for a place to rent her property because she did not want to go to the church for help, and her home was about to go in foreclosure. Just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, another member called. She was asking, can you help me? Because her car had broke down and she had a battery for it, and she did not want to go to the church because they were going to talk about it. And this is what I'm talking about right now. Many people do not go to the church for help, but they are paying tithes, and that's foul to me. To me, that is foul, because here's the thing. When people put their money in, and pay tithes faithfully, and something comes up, are we not supposed to help them? Are we supposed to take their business and tell everybody in the church about it? These women right here did not want to go to the church because they were going to talk about it and then turn around and not help them at all. And that's not right. And that's why many people don't even go into the four-wall setting anymore. And many people don't pay no tithes anymore. If your church is doing well, if they're helping the community, God bless you. But those are very, very rare. They're very rare. And then I get so upset when they call me, not that I don't want to help them, but because these are people who've been in church for a long time. If they can't come to you and tell you that they have a situation going on without you broadcasting it and then telling them no, I mean, something is wrong with that right there. So that's why many people just don't even go in the four-wall setting. There are many churches out there that play on your emotions as well. They get the church all heated up and they want you to give all the money, but when it comes back to you needing the money, you can't get it. They got to call a meeting on you and give you $50. Well, that ain't no money right there. And I know for a fact that they constantly, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a couple of them have asked me for help because they don't want people in the church to know that they're going through.
Wow. Don't want their business broadcast. Don't want to put on front screen. Well, we helped Sister Susan over there. Her light bill was due, and she came to the church and we gave her the money to pay her light bill. We help you then with Susan.
Exactly. And another thing, they've been told, a few people were told that the church could not help them pay electric bill. So where is all the tithing going? Where's all the money going?
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me. Kate, what are you coming to you next? Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Here we go again on another subject that just mesmerizes me because it seems like somebody don't know how to manage their money. That's just me. That's the first thing. And don't be no fool. Don't be no fool in the name of Jesus. You mean to tell me that I need to pay my light bill and somebody gonna talk me out of my light bill money to pay my tithes? He loves a cheerful giver. and we shouldn't be able to. We shouldn't give grudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am in a discomforting thought about what I'm giving, I'm not gonna give it all.
Mm-hmm.
Period. To nobody. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't the church fault. It's my fault. That's just me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because we let me see what I want to say. We want everybody to think like us when we've done some things that don't make no sense and is not biblically sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
He wants us to give freely. And if you can't give and you can't afford to give, well, what in the world kind of pastor or preacher you got going on? And it ain't nothing to do with the church, because they got many talking about they're the church, but when they see God and when they see him face to face and they're going to brag about all that they've been doing, he going to tell them, I made you, but I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Who? You did what? Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
The fact of the matter is you're following the wrong thing. I work every day, and I'm going to keep working because I ain't going to let Negroes starve me to death.
Come on.
In the name of Jesus.
Mm.
The devil is a lie.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And some people don't understand ministry. You want how in the world can everybody want the church to minister to people? And let me just tell you that it, unfortunately, how can you help somebody with nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see how that won't work out. Now let me tell you something else. If you're doing the right thing, let me just say how I think it works. If you take care, do what God, Christ, whoever wants you to do, he take care of his own business.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do something in the community, let me tell you who will help you do it. The government.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to talk about what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about me. But it ain't got nothing to do with the church. It got something to do with people that run a building or an organization that is in the name of a church, but they ain't a church at all.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that you got a pastor or a preacher? Let me not say that, because I got a Mercedes, my wife got one too. But you know what? We both work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't gonna starve me.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't gonna say that you paying me and I give more than you give me. I bet you that.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that.
Say it.
So when you say the church has starved or led people in poverty, people povertize themselves. Because first of all, you don't know how to manage your money and you fall in man. Get your relationship with God and see how that work out. I'll leave that right there.
Be much better for you. Okay, what did he talk to me, sis?
Look, he said the key thing. He that's the key thing. You got to get your own relationship. I hear people say that, and I see they walk, and so I'm like, if you change your idea that you have in your thought in your head, you're keeping yourself poor, because you're talking about God's business, but you're not in God's business, but you are God's business at the end of the day. And so God is not going to bless you because of your thoughts. So if you think like this, he's going to leave you in your thoughts, because that's how you're thinking. But you change your thoughts on over, because I grew up, I had 5 babies, and I ain't always had that man in the home doing the right thing. My mama, my 2 oldest kids' father got killed. My mama went to the church, the same church I had to quit going to. Why? Because a different man is over it now, and it's being ran different. But when we was coming up, it was ran like that. We didn't have an issue in the church. We didn't have a member in the church that didn't have no food because everybody in the church got together and took it over there. We didn't have a member in the church that didn't have their bills paid or mortgage notes paid. When we was a member in the church and they got sick and one couldn't work or the husband got sick, when my daddy got sick, they came over and practically took care of us. It was not a problem. When I needed help and they came out there and bought me money and food and all of that stuff, Starlight Missionary Baptist Church did. Reverend Bifford was the pastor because that's the type of man he was. And him and his wife didn't play that. So they ran the church, God's house, how it's supposed to be ran. You can't, charity starts at home.
Yeah.
And they ran it like that. So when it doesn't start at home, it's the people that's running the church. Our pastor just told us, if he said, stand up, baby, come over here. He said, get this $100. He said, anybody in here going through hard times? People were scared to even raise their hand. You know what he did after church? He walked over to this one man and said, you don't got to be ashamed. Do you need this $100? The man fell out crying, literally fell out crying.
Wow.
Because the pastor felt it in his spirit. That man was ashamed to raise his hand, but he needed that $100. He had little babies at home he needed to feed.
Yeah. Yeah.
He broke down and cried, like he literally cried. So it's like he said, they running their churches like that. And that's them. Because charity starts at home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cassandra, talk to me, sis. Talk to me. There's a lot going on with this topic right here, man. And I'm loving it. I really am. I'm loving it. Talk to me, Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm not, and please, I don't want anyone to mistake that I'm bashing any churches. I'm just telling you, I always try to talk from what I've experienced. That's all I can talk about, what I've experienced. And I've seen a lot when it comes to the church helping their members. I don't believe that people should be dependent on the church or make it a habit. But if people have a true need and they have been faithful to their church, guess what? The church needs to be faithful to them as well and help them. I'm not talking about you getting your nails and your hair done and you went on a trip with your girlfriends and now you can't afford. I'm talking about people that work hard. Things happen, guys. We can manage money as much as we want, but one thing can happen, and this is just a true statement. A lot of us can be one paycheck from being outside. You can be doing the right thing, but things happen, and you get sick. Something come up. With your children or something, that little money you making, it does not work.
Yeah.
It does not work, and it does not help. I think it was Toussaint that said that the government will help. Let me tell you, I work with people every day that there are programs that are supposed to help them. I cannot tell you how many women a week, single mothers that I deal with that are about to be evicted, that are working every day. The rents have shot up all around Atlanta. I mean, some of them have gone up $500, $400 and $500 a month. Do you know what that is for a single parent that is basically living paycheck to paycheck with her children already? Do you understand what $500 more dollars does?
Yeah.
So
Cripples.
now I'm getting people. I'm being evicted. I got the notice to be evicted. Miss Cassandra, I don't know where to go. And you send them to these programs. Guess what? Everybody programmed just about. They don't have money. City of Atlanta, I've called them for people outside of the city of Atlanta. I've called other counties to see what they have available or where the person is living. Most of them are saying, the ones that were rent assisted are saying, we have no money.
Wow.
So, how do you blame a person that is struggling already for a rent increase that has taken them over what they made? I don't know.
It's a lot.
I'm gonna leave it there.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Leonard. Did we just lose Leonard? Okay, I think we might have just lost Leonard. Kurt, you back with us, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
Talk to me. Come on, brother. Come on.
Well, the chronicles of history.
Hey, Kurt, your volume is very low, brother. Are you talking directly into your phone? Your volume is very low.
I said the chronicles of history teaches us exactly moments where the church itself failed the people. The church was doing what the governing body wanted it to do, and it was failing the people. So the chronicles of history has shown us that. I can't say, and I'm not going to stand on that it's all churches, because I sat in the pulpit with a pastor that I know they was paying him $350, and he was giving $450 total just on Sunday. And ain't counting what he was giving during the week, but just on Sunday he was giving $450 in tithes. Then they was only paying him $350.
Okay.
So
okay.
I've been in a position where I can see. I literally watched this man fill out his check for his tithes. Right. I've literally had this man hand me his tithes and say, Kurt, make sure that go in the envelope and put that in for me, because I got to deal with some things. Right. And I literally look at the check and I see, oh, $450. Well, we only paying them $350. Right. So I've seen that. But I've also seen where churches, those who run in the church, have their own agenda. The church that I grew up in, Second Baptist Missionary Church, Guilford Avenue.
Don't put them out there like that, Kurt. Don't put them out there like that.
Themselves out of a $5 million tax debt. Because what they did was they reconnected to the Baptist convention, right? Previous pastor, though, with all due respect, the preachers, oh my God, woo, that man will make you grab your spirit, have your spirit grab you, shake you. You know what I mean? He had taken all of the accounts of the church and put them all in his name. So everything, every dollar that was coming into the church went straight to his account, not the church's account.
Wow.
He had removed the church from the conference, which means that if the church ever gotten any kind of hardship or problem, they couldn't go to the national conference and say, look, we got some bills that need to be paid. Can y'all help us out in the conference? If the conference can't afford to pay the bill, the conference at least have enough power that they can get on the phone with somebody and say, hey, that's one of our organizations.
Yeah.
Can you hold off on that? So I've seen it in both ways, and Cassandra is right. Let me tell y'all what is really going on, especially speaking on that Cassandra angle, because that's what I deal with every day. So what is going on is, one, they have allowed for landlords or conglomerates who are working as landlords through property managers to change the criteria that would qualify you for an apartment. Now, some ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but what I'm gonna tell you is it's a blatant case of discriminatory practice. It's an underbelly way of saying we don't want your kind renting over here. So now you got a voucher system right here, and I'm gonna land the plane right here because I could be talking about this for the next 45 minutes. You got a voucher system that says that we will give you a voucher contingent upon, one, how many kids you do or don't have, understand how much you make per month.
Mm-hmm.
But the landlord is saying, here's one of the criteria. You have to make 3 times the amount of the rent every month.
Yeah.
However, that does not line up with the criteria at the housing authority. Because if the housing authority knew that you made, let's say the rent was $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You single, your rent is $1,000 a month for this 1-bedroom apartment. According to the housing authority, if you made $3,000 a month, you're single with no kids.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? You don't qualify for no housing voucher. You make too much money. However,
Amen.
the reality of it is, yeah, you single with no kids, but you honestly at this point have tangible skills where you making no real money. You're working at McDonald's or Burger King or Walmart, where you're really not making no money. You barely clearing $1,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what's the conundrum that we have? What conundrum is created by the criteria that's being set forward, while all at the same time those criteria are blatantly discriminatory practices.
Good deal.
But nobody
Good deal.
wants to say it because of, in all honesty, our country has allowed for capitalism to rule over conscience.
Good deal. Good deal.
And when capitalism rules over
Wrap it
conscience,
up, Curtis.
you're going to have nothing but corruption. That's just what it is.
Good deal.
That's just what it is.
Leonard, talk to me, brother.
You know, everybody has very valid points.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Let me throw some at you. Let me throw some at you real quickly, Leonard. Let me throw some at you real quickly, Leonard, because I want you to speak on this, because we're talking about the church and the church being one of the main vehicles towards people being poor, poverty, if you will. Is the church responsible for paying everybody's bills?
You know, I don't go along with that, and plus it was a foolish statement said by someone who was foolish.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of wealthy people sit right in church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
People do very well that go to church. This notion that for somehow that one is something that I think that people who are against the church promote.
Mm-hmm.
They promote that type of thinking because they have a problem and they are against church.
Mm-hmm.
Simple solution: don't go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go.
You think they're against the church?
Yes, I know they're against the church because everything that comes out of their mouth is against the church.
Mm.
Trust me, if it wasn't the money, it'd be the color of the robes the choir was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't go to the church for the same reason that other people go to church. Everybody that has a bone to pick with the church needs to leave the church alone. Because you don't have to go. This is a freedom of religion place.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the church would take something from me. I'd lay your pastor down on his face with a pistol in his head. Do you understand me?
That sound like violence, Leonard. That sound like violence, Leonard.
So don't ever get it confused. That's why I find it hard to understand that some people can convince y'all so easily.
Hey, Leonard, are you talking directly in the phone? Your voice is a little bit low. It's a little bit low, and I want the people to hear what you're saying, brother. Are you talking directly to the phone?
Okay. Yeah. Turn to your neighbor and say, I don't want to be a sucker. You just stupid. You just stupid. You don't want to give your money, but you see, I don't spend more money on liquor, drugs, and whores than I ever put in a church. Do you understand me?
Leonard, now you know my mama listening. Now you know my mama listening this morning.
I'm sorry, Mom.
And your mama is telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Now, look, hold
I
on.
don't
Now
spend, I don't spend that much on them no more. Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm just so tired of talk about something that you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about something that you just got to do. I went to the church last Sunday. This past Sunday, had a great time. It was first Sunday. We took the Lord's Supper. I saw people. I hugged, I kissed, I fellowship, and brought myself up out of there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's too expensive to go to church. What church you go to that is so expensive?
Man, I want to know.
That sounds stupid to me.
Wow.
That sounds stupid to me.
Stay right there. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Y'all stay right there for a second. I want to bring Tucson into this conversation. Tucson now. All right now, Tucson. All right now. Tucson. Talk to me, brother.
Leonard, when we together, when we were spending that money.
oh Lord.
In the world.
This doggone Tucson.
Lord have mercy.
This doggone Tucson.
Mercy.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Get yourself in trouble.
If we got five,
Go ahead. Get yourself in trouble.
5 women in the same neighborhood going to the same church, and nobody can afford to pay tithes, how is it the church's fault that y'all can't pay y'all bills? With all the other entities in the world, then you're going to single it out to be the church? It might be the wrong church that you're going to in the first place, because I know that society and these now we in the political realm that we don't want to be involved in. You got your politicians that you vote in that's causing these things to happen. You voted them, and it ain't their fault.
Mm-hmm.
But so we blame. It's like we blame what it got to. I guess what we're saying is, because I'm in this situation, it got to be God. It's his fault. He called that pastor, which he didn't, or that preacher, which he didn't. And because they operate like that, which is not godliness, that's why I'm in this predicament, and it's causing me to be poor. I don't know. Is that what we're saying? I've been known to put the money that I have in my hand to give based on what's said. I put it back in my pocket, get up and go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not gonna manipulate me. If your offering is 15, 20 minutes long and y'all got 30 people talking about we need to go another round. I had a man say, if you a man, give me $100. I'll put my little money back in my pocket and I got up and go home.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make me give.
Yeah.
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
I work for mine, and I'm careful with what I do with my money.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame other folks. And I know it's hard. I got mothers that's straining and struggling just to live every day. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But out of everybody that you can blame, it's kind of like you're blaming God, because that's supposed to be his church. But hell don't be raised in his church, because he says, on this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. So if the hell raisers are prevailing against you, is the hell raisers, not God.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to stop calling the hell raisers.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It makes absolutely no sense. And that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love my pastor, but I tell you what, I ain't gonna give him my last.
Mm-hmm.
The devil is a lie. You better get out of here.
Ain't gonna happen.
Man, you better get out of my face.
What? Come on.
You
now.
know what I'm gonna change? It's gonna change so quick from pastor to partner. It's gonna make your head swim.
You ain't gonna call the man partner, are you? Come on now. Come on, Tucson.
Boy, you almost made me sick. Cassandra, you talk for me.
Lord. Wow. 50. What time is it here? 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, go ahead. He wants you to talk for him. Talk for him, Cassandra.
I am not. I don't know why you thought love to call my name. I will not. I will not.
He wants you to use
and guys, really, I love the body of Christ. I really do. And if I sound sometimes like I'm disappointed in a lot of churches, it's not all churches. We have some wonderful churches, but those that manipulate and people don't have to stay. I know we always say that they don't have to stay, but some people have deep ties to churches, whether it's because great grandmama and grandmama, and they've been there. The whole family has been in that church forever. Mm-hmm. And so they feel tied to churches. And even if there are things going on that they don't like, they deal with it because it's a family thing. You understand what I'm saying? And I applaud any church that is community oriented. All of them are not. Let's just be real. Every church is not community oriented. Yeah. They come into that community on Sunday and on Wednesday night for Bible study maybe, and then choir rehearsal. But you never see them in the community doing any work, outreaching to, the less fortunate in the neighborhood, even if it's just a food pantry. There's churches now, I love it. They doing food pantries. That's helping your community. Yep. They have, you can go and get little if you need, a small amount of money, because most of them are smaller churches. If you go in, you bring your light bill, it's about to be turned off or something, and they help you with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's to me what church is supposed to be about. The word of God says that when you've done it to the least of these, you've done it unto me. Yes. So when you help those, I'm not talking about people scamming, flimming. I ain't talking about, I'm just talking about people that are in need. Mm-hmm. And really quickly, Kurt said something that's happening around the country right now. These people are jacking up these rental prices. And how in the world are you expecting people that's making minimum wage to make three times the amount of rent that they're, and you increasing the rent? What are you talking about? Yeah. What are you talking about? People are struggling. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, y'all. Y'all got to forgive me, because I just, my heart goes out to people when it's okay. 3 times the rent. You raise the rent from $1,200 to $1,700. Yeah. And I'm barely making it. And I try to find somewhere else, and they're telling me I have to make 3 times. Mm-hmm. Man, come on, y'all. Come on. Come on, man.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Kay, would he talk to me? Oh, we just lost Kay. I just went to her and she hung up.
No, you didn't. Okay. I don't know who you lost.
Okay. I just lost somebody. I don't know who I just lost. Okay. Hopefully they'll call back. Whoever that was, they'll call back in. But Kay, would he talk to me, sis?
But I was listening, and I help a lot of people, and they go through a lot of things. But even my nephew, he was sick for 3 weeks and couldn't go to work, but he was 3 months behind on everything. And I was just like, look, you ain't 3 weeks missing 3 weeks of work don't add up to 3 months behind. Yeah. And so, just like I just told another young lady, but we have a person in the church, and she wasn't able to. She's told us she wasn't able to pay her tithes like she could, like she wanted to, and all that. And the church, they took the funding and paid her lights, her rent. They paid everything for her for like 3 months, and we didn't. Mm-hmm. Her faithfulness coming to church and working throughout the church, her faithfulness paid off for her. She stood up in there and gave a testimony, and she was so happy. And she said that She wouldn't trade the church for nothing in the world.
Praise God.
Because it ain't the church building. It's the
Mhm.
people that come in the church.
Mhm.
The building is just there for us to come.
Yeah.
We're the church. She
Mhm.
said, and I'm thankful for my church family
Yes.
because y'all are my family and y'all
Mhm.
reached out and helped me. And she said, and I don't have no money, but her faithfulness. And so your money don't get your bills paid. Your
Mhm.
faithfulness. You could tie to a church for 50 years and might not could get a penny out that church
Mhm.
because your money ain't faithful. Your heart is. Your soul is faithful. So you could ties to a church. And so I was raised different, and I believe in helping people, and the government don't help them.
Yeah.
But then we got to look at the government. The reason our rent don't went up because when the COVID came in, people wasn't paying no rent, and landlords couldn't put you out.
Mhm.
So when they did get their power back, they raised